Well, we've had an awesome time in Colorado. Been here, I guess, about a week, maybe one day short. Spent a lot of time in Fort Collins and Denver. The last couple days, of course, we were in Steamboat Springs. Got the car real dirty. Ripping up some awesome mountain roads. Just had a great drive back from Steamboat in track mode down Pooter Canyon, which is just a really fun mountainous road. We're able to get a little lift off oversteer into some corners. We got the car in our version of dog mode. We're gonna load up the pups. We have all of our luggage back here. And we're actually going to take the northern route home because in Omaha, Nebraska, they have the new iPhone 11 Pros in stock. So we're here at the Chatamo, just down the street. The dogs are running around the park over there, and very convenient to have it here at this Museum of Discovery. This one's only a 100 amp Chatamo, so not much. We'll probably only get, well, you can really, this is an easy one to figure out because we are getting 35 kilowatt right now because it's just volts times amps. That's what's going into the car. We're not sure about losses, but it's minimal with DC charging. And I'm gonna go get the tennis balls and the chuck it out of here, and we're gonna go play fetch. Here the dogs just ran around. Gonna get them some water, and we will easily make it to Cheyenne now. This is why it's nice to have the Chatamo adapter, because we would have had to go south to the supercharger, or we could have just stayed right here. So it doesn't get used often, but when it does, it's certainly handy to have. All right, we just pulled into Cheyenne, Wyoming supercharger. It's like 50-mile-an-hour gusts out there of wind, so you wouldn't be able to hear anything. But another new supercharger on this trip. This is a early version 1 supercharger, but it's pushing out more than 120 kilowatt. I've never seen that before. That's pretty cool. I've never seen a charge session this strong on a version 1, so that's pretty amazing, and that's with AC on. Let's cut this thing off. Solid 121. Pretty good.
A salad and some French fries, because you got to keep it healthy.
This was the best charging session on a version 1 that I've ever seen. It pulled 120 to 121 kilowatt all the way through till the taper point. I've just never seen anything like it. Anyway, there's a Model S owner in a cowboy hat. That's Wyoming for you. Never seen that before. And dogs are gonna go pee. I'm gonna eat some food, and we're gonna hit the road. Well, there's certainly a whole lot of nothing out here.
There's a tree.
Literally, at least the speed limit's 80, but autopilot won't do more than 90, so it's not worth going faster and have to drive. You really don't need to charge in Sidney, Nebraska, but since it's right off the highway, I think we will, just to add it to the supercharger count. Cruising along here to get to the supercharger we really don't need to stop at, but now we kind of do because I drove quickly and burned up some extra juice. So we'll charge here until we taper, and then we'll hit the next one and ride the fast charging curve. Wow, this truck is going pretty slow in front of us. Looks like it's right off the highway somewhere over here. It's at a Hampton Inn and a Best Western, so that's good. Blue, are you excited? Not really? The superchargers in Sidney, Nebraska. Really not bad. Good restaurant, hotel. Just taking a little pee break right here, or just sitting down right off the highway. So we'll charge until it starts to taper around 50% and then go to the next one.
This is supposed to be a quick stop, and Kyle is just talking away with Miss Ellie, and Mr. Blue is in the car Because he is a naughty pup. And we don't reward bad behavior. But Miss Ellie is out there being a good girl.
Well, that whole thing about staying here until we taper definitely did not happen. We actually ran into an awesome guy, Model X owner, who also has a Model 3 Performance, who's super interested in Cannonball. We talked about the run, about potential future runs, and we just went off for a long time. So again, the Apple Store where we're going tomorrow doesn't open until 11 a.m. and we're only like 6 hours or 5 hours away, so it's only 6 o'clock p.m. now, so we're in no rush, so that's fine. But how cool it is to run into someone who is interested in Cannonball. And he was just as freaking out as we were, so that's really cool. And we're off to the next charger. Going to the next one just to say we've been there. We are in Ogallala, and I parked a little weird just because we're only here for a second. I just wanted to plug in and plug out. Normally you could just back in, but they had this little road behind the chargers, so I figured, hey, we'll just run alongside and plug in, which is perfect for trailers. This is actually really good if you have to trailer with your Tesla, because you can just pull in back here and charge up. Anyway, plug in, plug out, just to get another supercharger count on Teslafy, because that's fun and really means nothing, but always cool to see different installs. You can see the cabinets over there. Anyway, off to the next one. So it's a little dark out, but we made it to the Gothenburg supercharger, however you say it. It's actually all the way over there. We charged the car up to around 45%, something like that, 46%. We'll do a little test. So what I want to see is it should be around 40 degrees today. I'm going to wake up super early before they do, at least by a couple hours. So it doesn't make sense to leave the car with a full battery overnight. There they go. Doesn't make sense to leave the car with a full battery overnight, so we charged it up to 45, and then we'll finish it off in the morning, but it'll be cool to see how long it takes for the battery to heat up to supercharge quickly, just by letting it sit overnight. Of course, it's not sub-zero, but I know the dual motor cars can heat the battery much better than the rear-wheel drive cars can, by like a significant amount. So I guess we'll play around with that in the morning, depending on how cold it gets. I'm hoping it gets really cold and it takes like 2 hours for it to supercharge, because that's just fun for me. But we're going to go get the dogs tucked in, get a good night's rest. Very rarely do we ever get nights like this where we just chill. I've actually never stayed at a hotel with a supercharger. I always stay at destination chargers because you just leave it on overnight. So this is a new experience. Good morning. You can tell I just woke up. I actually was editing and uploaded the part 1 video this morning. We're getting kind of a late start, but it is a bit chilly out here. I think it got down to like 30 degrees last night. So we're going to run to the car, do zero preconditioning, not even unlocking it ahead of time. We're just going to drive it over to the supercharger and see how hard this taper is. See if we even get 30 kilowatt. Who knows? Let's find out. Look at this, it says 4 of 8 available, but here, I guess some of them are unhealthy. Anyway, I know the one we plugged in on last night was, I don't really actually remember, but I think it was over here somewhere, and it worked fine. So we'll do this one. All right, so we're at 43%. Let me shut climate control off so that doesn't end up pulling any. Okay, and let's see what she does. Whoa, that is way better than I would have thought. Anyway, it looks like I have about 45 minutes, maybe a little more, to get showered, get some breakfast, get packed up, and then we'll hit the road. That is actually perfect. So, this was a great hotel. Good morning, Blue. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Are you itchy? Blue, come. Blue, what are you itching? for now, the car's on the supercharger. We're gonna go throw everything in. It's almost done charging. Then we can hit the road. All right, well, we just checked out of our hotel. The car is finished charging, so that was perfect timing. No need to go higher than 98%. It's not really good to supercharge the cars when they're full. So we will unplug and head to our next destination, off to Omaha to get the new iPhone. Looks like we can make it there on one charge. However, once we're there, we probably can't make it to the supercharger. So we will top up in Lincoln, Nebraska on the way. So cruising up at these speeds really is killing efficiency, of course. I mean, to be expected. But I think we're gonna stop in this supercharger now just to, one, see it, but also so we don't have to slow down. And we're really just chilling out. So it's good to see another supercharger. So we'll go there, top up, and then go to Lincoln. There is a huge headwind coming our way. Stuff is just flying towards the car. We're going relatively fast. The wind side to side is strong as well. So this is worst case scenario pretty much for efficiency, aside from temperature outside. So this will be interesting to see sort of how poor it's going to be on this particular stretch. Well, we just got off the exit for Grand Isle, Nebraska Supercharger. There's two other cars. There's actually like a huge travel plaza over this way. We're gonna see if there's a dog park for these guys. And we'll be here just for like, I don't know, let's see what our next stop is. Why is this not north up? Lincoln. That's the one. We'll be here for like just like 5-10 minutes. Well, it says we'll arrive there at 16%, but we're gonna probably continue driving how we were. So if we go and look at what we've been tracking, it's kind of all flat out there. Let's say worst case scenario, we get another 20% less range. Will be somewhere around 100 miles. It's only 94 to get there. I think that's plenty of buffer to go. Back out on the road and found a Starbucks right here. So that's where we're gonna go, and then it'll be off to Lincoln. It's pretty interesting. It's expecting for us to get to Lincoln, Nebraska with 12%. It's 58 miles away, but if you look at what we've been tracking, we would get there only with about 10 more miles, and I'm pretty sure 10 miles is a lot less than 12%. So unless there's a traffic jam or something where it thinks we're going to be consuming a lot less, I'm pretty sure that this is overestimating what we'll be arriving at by a lot. Yeah.
Okay, where are you guys from?
North Carolina.
That's awesome!
Yeah. We're pulling into the supercharger in Lincoln, Nebraska, which is way smaller than I pictured it. I've been to Nebraska, but I don't think I've ever been to Lincoln other than driving by on the highway. And wow, this place is truly dreadful.
Yikes. Hey, Blue? No, fine. No.
It's so windy and flat, and there's like miles of just crops.
Hey, but there's a Toys R Us
And
hasn't gone out of
everyone
business yet.
is very just not happy. No one smiles. We haven't seen one person that's happy around here. Oh no, that's not true. The Starbucks we went to was fantastic.
Yeah, they took a picture of the doggos.
That's right, it was pretty cool. Yeah, the charge curve has definitely gotten less aggressive. It used to do 149 at 3%, and now it doesn't do that till closer to 10%. So I think Tesla was a little too aggressive on the cells before. So it's a good thing we did the cannonball when we did it. Getting a really good charge session here. Looks like when we go to the Apple location, we will have we'll arrive with 17%, which is fine, but Alyssa's getting snacks, so we can't leave quite yet. But it looks like they have some destination chargers like right there, so we can just level 2 there at look probably 40-48 amps, whatever it would be, And that's perfect. So we'll charge up while we get the new phone, and then we will likely go to this charger here on the way out. And I'm not sure what route we're going to take from there. Well, we're just about to unplug and leave, but this is the first time this trip that we have climate control off, but the AC compressor and the fans are running flat out. So this battery was nice and toasty, probably because it had to use a lot of juice to push through all the wind, so it probably heated everything up. But that's not a huge problem. We'll charge up to, let's just say, 50% and then head out. We're almost to the store, and we could have gone up the highway and gotten off over here, but honestly the time was the same, and that was another 10 miles of distance, so we just decided to take the more efficient route and the lesser mileage one, and hopefully they held this phone. It's all in stock and we'll be good to go going forwards. And look at this, the destination charger spots are now completely full, and there's another Model 3 over there. There must be some kind of like Tesla owners meeting. This one has all the chrome blacked out, looks pretty good. That is pretty funny. Anyway, we're gonna go run over to Apple and charge up on this level 2. Well, we just got the phone at the Apple store, which is like crazy busy. Anyway, we're gonna go back to the car and get some lunch because we haven't eaten yet today. Well, you ate breakfast, didn't you? Yeah, but we need to get some food. These wall connectors are likely load shared because it goes from 19 to 21 amps between all of these cars here. So that's probably what's going on. All right, well, we're just pulling out of the Apple store, and this is the path that it wants us to take. So once we stop, we'll get food at the next charger. Let's go. Just crossed those bridges into Iowa. This is crazy because we just did a little research. The Missouri River has flooded, and there's like a road underwater over there. Just insane. It's really, really sad. All right, well, we are pulling into Shelby, Iowa, and we looked up on the map, and the supercharger is at a place called the Corn Crib, which just sounds incredible. Look, the front trunk just popped open again. What? I see, I'm not making this stuff up. It's been latched. I made sure it was down all the way. What? I'm gonna ignore and continue to drive, and we'll close it over here at the supercharger. Goodness. Anyway, Corn Crib. We're gonna go get some corn because we're in Iowa. Well, we plugged in at 5%. That is the same X that I think we saw earlier. They're from Colorado. Look at this giant corn statue. That's pretty cool. And the cabinets are pretty far away over here. Anyway, let's see what's going on with this. I know you're supposed to two-hand it, but that's right on the latch, and that is for sure latched, as it has been before. Very weird. Just as soon as I closed it, it popped back up on its own. Look at that. It won't latch now. Stay. You stay there. You didn't click the button, did you? Oh, she is clicking the button. Oh, come on. So I finally figured out what's going on with the front trunk. I had the tennis balls here for the human release button. Well, we just supercharged right here, and there was no food, so we drove over to the McDonald's, which is really the only food option other than Chester's, which I've never heard of, so Alyssa's looking it up. There's really like nothing on this stretch of road other than kind of chain restaurants, which I guess is okay, but we are starving now. We're not just hungry, so we need to get at least a little something here at Mickey D's. Well, we're sitting down to a exquisite lunch dinner at McDonald's in Iowa, and we're gonna go open up the new iPhone. Woo! There she is. Okay, I'm gonna go put a case on this before I get it greasy with chicken nugget stuff. It won't turn on.
Is it dead?
I don't know. Oh, there it goes. Had to hold it for a while. Nothing like new phone, chicken nuggets, and dog mode. What a time we live in. This is the first video with the new phone. It looks pretty good. Anyway, Alyssa's driving, and these roads, the way the Model 3 hits them, it's just reverberations of this high-pitched noise, are unbelievably annoying. So we've been trying to find the right speed. We've put on the spa music, and it is just a dreadful pavement surface that is so loud. And now, just a minute later, after like 30 minutes of that, it's over. How does it feel?
Much better.
What's going on? You excited about the new supercharger we're going to visit? It's right over here. Nice work. Pulled in at 9%. Let's get this thing juicing. There we go. Well, this is kind of weird. We were just at 140 something kilowatt and it slowly worked its way down, and it's still going down. So my guess is we're at a unhealthy cabinet. We'll unplug, switch, and it should shoot right back up. You can hear that reverse noise maker. It's pretty funny. Keep going back. Keep going. Good. There we go. And we shot right back up to 141 kilowatt plugging back in, so that's great. It's always good to keep an eye on your charging in case something weird like that happens. Again, sometimes the hardware just gets a little wonky, but we're good to go now. But it looks like we're charged up enough to make it to the next supercharger. So let's hit continue trip. And yeah, totally fine. We're just cruising along, and we decided it was probably time to get a hotel. So Alyssa found a destination charger and a supercharger hotel in Davenport, Iowa at the Candlewood Suites. And that's where we're headed. We're about 2 hours away. Quick top up at the next supercharger in Coralville, Iowa, and then we'll spend the night and AC charge the car. So perfect situation. Well, we just pulled into Coralville. Not really a great location for road tripping because it's like 2 miles off the highway with a lot of traffic lights. Another Hy-Vee, paid for by Hy-Vee, electricity apparently. So I don't know how that works because it says power paid by Hy-Vee if you have pay per use supercharging. This car is free 2-year. Anyway, we've been road tripping with this Model X all day. They actually left Denver at like 2:30 this morning. When we woke up, they were at our hotel charging. And what's interesting between the X and the 3 is they have driven straight through, no extra stops. We went and spent like an hour at the Apple store. We had that snack at McDonald's. We charged a little longer last time, and they've just been going straight through, and we're still around the same time. So that even though this car is not very efficient being the performance, it still gets places so much faster being a Model 3 than the X. It says we'll get there with 8% or so, and that's pretty good for me because it'll just sit there overnight on a destination level 2 40 amp charger. So I guess we'll head out and go. So the supercharger is right there, and our hotel with the destination charger is there. So worst case, if this is iced, we always have a backup plan. Just rolled up to the hotel. One spot is iced, but hey, we got one. That's all that really matters. I just hope another Tesla owner doesn't have to come and charge. Anyway, I'll put it on plug share as I always do in case someone absolutely needs it. But hey, there's a supercharger down the road, so I doubt that's the case. And we need a little bit more length. There we go. Ellie? Yep, about 10 hours to charge it up. We'll charge to 90% tonight and then bump it to 100 in the morning. Well, it took about 30 minutes to get checked in here at the Candlewood Suites. Their systems all broke. The woman didn't know what she was doing, and it was really just a big pain in the ass. Anyway, we're checked in. The charger's going fine. It should be at 90% when we wake up, and we'll bump it to 100. Alyssa may run to the grocery store to get the dogs some food for tonight, but either way, gonna call it an early night, get this phone set up, get some videos edited, and then we hit the road probably for the final time tomorrow. Good morning from our hotel in Iowa, right on the border of Illinois. The dogs have to go out. They just ate their breakfast. We bumped the car's charging just now to 100%. Do you even know what time it is? 10:18. Getting a late start, but that's okay. Really cool hotel tonight. Very dog friendly, very nice. And gonna go let you pups out and hit the road for the day. Yeah, Blue's wanting to go out. Look at him just waiting there. All right, let's go. Blue, don't jump on the car. So we bumped the charge level up and the heater. Whoa, not focusing. Anyway, it says it's at 93% with like another hour and 10 minutes to charge. She's tied up. So that's perfect. No need to keep full charging the battery, so we won't do that. Hi, buddy. Go bathroom, okay? Go potty. Let's come up with a charging plan for today. So we're gonna go. What are you doing? No, we don't. Okay, that's fine. We can do that, but let's see how we're gonna get home. We'll probably stop one more time tonight, just because we have nothing to go home for. All right, well, this looks like a pretty good charging plan. I don't think we're gonna stop at every supercharger like we did yesterday or the day before. We did that just so we could see everything. But I mean, maybe we'll just stretch it and we'll get home at 2:50 in the morning. Yeah. No? I mean, I don't think that sounds too bad.
Sounds fun.
Okay, well, I guess we're in no rush. Maybe we'll just stay at the Withville supercharger. They have a hotel there. Do we go see the supercharger? Yes. No, it's right over here. Maybe we can see it from the road. I don't think so. I think this is close enough. At least we know the area that it's in. Chick-fil-A is right over here and Starbucks is right over there. So I think we have to stop at both. Alyssa's watching videos and playing with the dogs. And we're just in construction zones. We're just cruising along in Illinois, and just like yesterday, we have had some crazy side winds and some headwinds, and consumption's been up. I think we can really only go about 200 miles at highway speeds on a full charge with this wind, which I guess really isn't a problem. We skipped one supercharger and we are almost to the next. Well, I wasn't paying attention and I missed our exit. So we have 6% battery. Oh yeah, we're fine. We'll get there at 4%. No problem. Well, it is beautiful here, isn't it? Look at the scenery, folks. Gorgeous. Even Blue's loving it. We have just arrived at the best supercharger on the planet. I'm not joking. This is the best charger because there's a Panda Express here, folks. Alyssa hates Panda Express and it's my favorite place to eat. But that's where we're gonna get food. She can go somewhere else. I can't believe there's one here. Blue, leave it. That's not a toy. No, that's not a toy. Oh yeah, Panda Express. Alyssa wouldn't get out of the car to go there. How do you feel about my Panda Express in the car?
It smells disgusting.
I think Blue wants it. Nah.
Yeah,
Blue.
went to the old dog.
No, look. Please. Anyway, we've had like a garbage charge session here. It hasn't gone above 115 kilowatt. This is a version 2, so it should do 150. But that's okay. More time for me to enjoy my Panda Express.
It's disgusting. Ugh.
Just walking back to the supercharger, I went to go throw out my trash, and it's like all the way down there is the trash can. I wish they would put them closer to superchargers. Alyssa doesn't quite have the whole like do things while the car is on the charger, because she could have walked over here into her Japanese steakhouse to get hibachi, because Panda Express isn't nice enough, while we were on the charger. But now we're just sitting here not charging and not driving, and that is silly, right Ellie? Right Ellie? That's silly. Yeah, you're a cutie.
I was talking at you. Yeah, I know how to do it.
Well, we charged way more than we needed to at the last supercharger, but look at this construction. It's been going on for like an hour, and there's no one here. It's like they spent all this time just putting up cones to just put up cones. It's absolutely insane. Anyway, heading to Indianapolis, which has 5 superchargers for one city, which is just crazy, you know, considering it's not like a New York or San Francisco or LA, but that's all right. And it's always nice to see more chargers. I'm pretty sure one of the Tesla regional reps lives in Indy, and that's why there's so many chargers. Anyway, gonna just continue on through this construction zone. Every time I come through this city, it is just pouring rain. This is what held us up on the Cannonball. We would have been a couple hours faster if it wasn't raining here. Selfie turned into video. Whoa. Well, we're charging up. Finally, I feel like we've had just like a pretty slow day today. A little slow start. I am thinking we just push it to get home and drive through the night. What are your thoughts?
4:28 a.m.
Yeah, but you know, we'll get home sooner. Babe, I drove across the country in 45 hours. It's taken us like a week to get here.
4:29 a.m.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
If you could shave that by 2 hours, I'd maybe say, yeah, let's go for it. But that's a long time for these guys. Let's do it.
Now, we have stopped at this supercharger when we did the Cannonball, and I distinctly remember, oh my God, I just walked into that puddle. Oh, that was just... Problems of trying to film. I suck at this vlogging road trip thing. Anyway, I distinctly remember like full ABS skidding into here and just throwing it on the charger. Good times. It was pouring rain out, and the bathrooms, you have to walk all the way down there, which isn't a big deal, but when it's like cats and dogs, thunder, lightning out, it was. So looks like we have a good area to let the dogs run around. Alyssa's not letting them out. Okay, I guess we're going to the bathroom first. Stretch them legs. Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Stay. Stay.
Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Blue, come. Blue, come. Come. Well, we sure have been wasting a lot of time at superchargers. We'll get to Dayton with 30%, so. All right, let's go. Well, our speeds have been down somewhere between 70 and 80 miles an hour for the most part, and the efficiency is looking a lot better. And compared to what we were seeing at 85, 90 with headwinds, I mean, it makes total sense, but it is a huge difference. Still going to get to Dayton with around 30%, and we can't stretch it because there's no other supercharger on the route next, so we're just going to hit all of them except for this one until we get to Whitfield. Well, I just turned autopilot off to make a lane change, and it's dead again. Guess it just had to reset itself because we're back on and ready to rock. We're juicing up in Dayton, Ohio, is it? Englewood, Ohio. But that one says Dayton, Ohio. Are we in Dayton or Englewood? I have no idea.
Made fun of me the last.
I guess this is considered Dayton, Ohio supercharger. Anyway, doesn't matter. We're here. There are so many great amenities around. There's like a Chipotle over this way. So we're going to go there and get some dinner.
Tail going around in circles. Hi. I missed you too. No, I know, you're just butter.
That was a long line in Chipotle. And this is an even longer supercharging session. We are
Still 20 minutes?
going to Charleston, West Virginia, all the way down here. Yeah, and we're at 70%, and it still needs, there's no superchargers in between, by the way, so this is our only option here. Let's see what it's like when we just see how many miles it is to get there. So it is 206 miles to get there, and if we average what we were doing, we would have done 192 miles, and that's sitting in traffic, and now it's raining and we're going to have open roads, so we are going to need a serious charge, probably a 90%er to make it there. We got a dog jumping in the car at the supercharger next to us, not sure what's going on. Anyway, we should be good to go. The car just freaked out and it was like, I don't think you're gonna make it there, and there are literally like no bailout options, no DC bailout options, and like one kind of iffy J1772 somewhere over here. And it is 177 miles there. We're at 77%, which would be like 240 miles of range, but this thing is so thirsty, especially in the rain, that it thinks even at doing 60, which is under the speed limit, and we were just at 55 before, honestly, it thinks we'll do 166 miles, which means we won't make it there. So unless we're losing elevation or this rain stops, we're gonna have to drive pretty slow.
Not going well.
Oh no, this rain is killing us. We've been going slow, and now it says we need to stay below 60. Oh, we're good again. Anyway, trip planner, it's okay, but it's not perfect. We have 154 miles, 163 to go. It doesn't look like a ton of elevation change. If anything, we're gonna gain a little bit coming into town. So we're just gonna continue at this pace. Sorry to everyone that we're pissing off by going slow, but thankfully that was there's no one behind us now for as far as we can see. Well, we've been cruising at 10 under the speed limit this whole time, and the rain has finally let up. So trip planner is up to 7%, which is great. And it looks like we have 88 miles projected at our 268 watt-hour per mile that we've done over the last 30 miles. We only have 65 miles to go, so let's bump it up to 70 miles per hour, the speed limit, finally, and see what the consumption looks like here. Maybe we'll just stick here, or we'll go really as fast as we can to pull in with, just to make sure we pull in, even if there's not much left in the battery. What's going on here? We're like cruising down the road. Hey, get that thing out of my face. Charleston, West Virginia. There they are.
Destination is on the right.
Charleston, West Virginia. This is kind of a funny install because the posts are set up this way, but you kind of ring the cables back. And it's interesting. I've been to this supercharger a few times, and I always see people putting cables back like this, which just doesn't make any sense. So we'll fix this one. And there, now it is the correct way. Anyway, every time I've been to this supercharger, it's at like midnight like it is now, or 4 o'clock in the morning, and nothing is open. So there's always like a good Starbucks and a good place to eat over there. And actually, I think one time I did get to eat there, but normally it's like closed. Anyway, the hotel's pretty cool, but you can't go in there at night. It's like locked down because apparently West Virginia is kind of sketchy. So that's what we're left with, is just hanging out by the car in Charleston, West Virginia. We'll charge up here a little bit and then go to Wytheville or Wytheville. Maybe there's one more in between, I'm not sure. Alyssa's having a good time riding in the back of the car. It doesn't bother me. It's not like we're gonna even see another car on the road to hit, so we're fine. Well, we were just pulling 148 kilowatt, and then it shot down to 120 way before the in-car taper point. So what I'm thinking is the handle temp is hot or the cabinet's hot. So we're gonna switch stalls, and we should see that number pop right back up to full. Let's take a look. Yep, I was correct. So that handle was pretty hot on that supercharger. It's warm out, 71 degrees. Warm enough, I guess, to cause it to taper early. So we're definitely charging much faster now, even if we turn off AC. There we go, 149. Maybe we'll hit 150. Come on. The fans are ripping on this thing. And the AC compressor is just maxed out, cooling down the battery. Listen to that thing go. Sounds like it's summertime again. It wants us to charge and stretch all the way to Mount Airy, but that doesn't really make any sense since there's 2 superchargers in between. Beckley has a charger, although I've never been to that one. It looks like it's kind of off the highway and it's a little close. So we'll just go to Wytheville. Some random people getting into a car on the middle of the road right here. This is just West Virginia kind of stuff going on. That's pretty funny. So what is going on here? This is the main highway, and it's taking us on this like side route. Do I have like avoid tolls on or something? Avoid tolls off. That made a difference. There we go. I don't know why that was on. I got my easy pass. More construction and slow trucks, but these are pretty good roads when they can open up, but we have Alyssa in the back still. Can't really see anything. So we're gonna just take it easy. We should be home. We've decided not to get a hotel tonight just because this trip has been dragging on the way home. We really need to put the hammer down and make some progress. Just want to get home and not have to deal with finding dog-friendly hotels anymore this week. We should be home by, let's just say 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning at the latest. Only one spot iced. Not bad for this location. And we're charging up no problem here in Wytheville. I'm going to set the charge limit to 90% just in case I fall asleep. No need to go past 90% to make it to home. Well, the car wants this to be our last stop, but I have not been to the new Mount Airy supercharger yet, so we're going to go there since it's on the way, and we'll ride a little bit of a faster charging curve. And since we're going right by, that should be the quickest way to get home. 30 miles an hour on the highway, which is crazy. I've never seen fog this thick before. This is like you can barely see right in front of the car. It's wild. And this is why using hazard lights in heavy rain or fog is dangerous, because we came up on this person with no idea if they were pulled over or driving, and and we weren't sure if we should follow them or not. And yeah, that's just, you know, brake lights on if you have a rear fog, use it, but definitely not hazards in this situation. Juicing at Mount Airy, we have plenty of charge, like 40%, but I wanted to stop here just to see it anyway. Out of Sheets, right off the highway, couldn't ask for a better location or a better stop. It's perfect for us when we head from Raleigh anywhere northwest. Although with this car we can stretch it to Wytheville, but if we had like a Model X or if we had a roof rack or trailer, this would be a perfect stop. Well, that was the last supercharging stop of the entire trip. How does it feel?
Like a fresh bag of Cheetos.
we got some Cheetos inside the Sheets here at Mount Airy. We'll arrive home at 16%, which is totally fine. It actually would have been quicker for us to skip this charger and go to Greensboro, but we stopped here because we wanted to see it. So now we're gonna go home. It says we'll get there at 6:30 in the morning and then go to sleep, and then we'll finish the vlog after that, or maybe the vlog's done then.